just doing a quickie vlog. I know these are still technically going out of order because this is going up before the myriad of vlogs about my Arizona trip, but wasn't expecting things to pan out quite the way it did. The whole reason I went to Arizona was to avoid the big planned PG&E shutoff that could have lasted a week out here. Ended up being like 24 hours for this area. Other areas it was a week, but there was no way of knowing. Yeah, so they just did another one. And they're about to do a third one, starting tonight. But the last one just lasted 3 days with no power. So that was fun. I was thinking, maybe it won't be terrible, since, we do have a generator. Granted, it's not a whole house generator, but I figured, as long as we can keep the router running, at least I can stay online and kind of sort of keep running as usual. Yeah, about that. Where man plans, God laughs. Yeah, that very much applied here, because for the first few hours, that was great. And then they turned off the transmission towers and the cell towers, and then there was no way of even getting online from my phone or my computer, or even watching TV for updates, or even being able to so much as call 911 if need be. Isn't that a cheery little thought? But, under the best of circumstances, this place is a dead zone for cell phones anyway, but, usually if I go outside, I can get some amount of signal to make a phone call, or use 4G if, the internet goes out. Yeah, cute. That worked for a little bit, but it got spottier and spottier as time went on, till it just didn't work anymore either. Which is a terrifying frigging thought, and I hope they plan better for in the future, although I don't have high hopes for this time, since it's only been, 24 hours, if even. That really sucked. Having to, walk around outside. Mind you, the whole reason it's off is because of the windstorm, 75 miles an hour winds. And I'm outside in it, trying to get any signal for anything, because everything I do that earns me money is online. I can't just go without, and I run an Etsy. I have to be in contact with my customers at the very least, especially during holiday periods where people need things by deadlines. I have to, if nothing else, be able to contact them and either explain what's going on or be able to issue them a refund. I have issued a few refunds because my hands are tied on this one. But, power's out, I can't even print so much as a shipping label, which is bullshit. But it is how it is, so God, that just was insanity last time. They had told us that it was originally going to go out at 7 p.m. It didn't go off till 9. They're telling us 11 p.m. this time, so watch it be 1 a.m. or some shit. Or watch it be right on the dot. I don't really know, but since we have a noisy-ass generator, that's gonna really suck for booting that up when people are supposed to be asleep, so... but too goddamn bad, my mom's on oxygen, so gotta do what we gotta do. But, boy, it just, we all know, I'm terrified of the dark to begin with, so that already sounded like a hellscape just right there, even apart from the no phones, no internet, no TV, no anything, no contact with the outside world, other than intermittently managing to get, maybe one page to barely kinda sorta load, if you stand in exactly the right spot and try it about 10 times first. Oh my god. Fucking horrible. And with that kind of wind going on, do you know how cold it is? Do you have any idea how freaking cold it is when that's going on? So on top of trying to stay standing up, because I don't weigh that much, so it was almost knocking me over this whole damn time. I'm trying to brace myself. I'm also trying to hold the phone and not let the wind rip my phone out of my effing hand, but also managing, with my hands being so cold where I can't feel my fingers actually be able to type. Good luck with that. And we get to do it all again now. I hate everything. I hate California. If I could afford to move, I would, because this is bullshit. It shouldn't be happening. It's not stopping fires. And at this point, I think since they're showing the maps, I think people are going out of their way to go just outside of the limits of where they're turning off power and starting fires there, because if you look at the maps of where they've started each and every time during these, that's what seems to be happening over and over and over again. And it's such bullshit. All because PG&E doesn't want the liability of being blamed when fires happen. It's like, okay, can we just, like, fucking let them have their way, give them zero liability, and not have to deal with this? Like, please. This is bullcrap. We shouldn't have to deal with this. We shouldn't have to live like a third world country. And I mean, our house is downhill, so even our sewage works on a pump. Guess what doesn't work in a power outage? Guess who has no sanitation during a power out? That's going on for days. Can't even flush a toilet. It sucks. And I tried to film some of the wind for you guys. It wasn't as strong what I got on film, because the first time I thought I was recording, apparently it wasn't recording, which sucked. And then it looked like it was making a liar out of me, because then it wouldn't pick up. Apparently what I should have done is waited till that night and tried to record something when I could barely stand up in it. I guess I know what to try again this time, although they said the wind won't be as strong this time, but it's still strong enough to necessitate them turning the fucking power off, so there's that. I mean, yeah, we had a tiny bit of power to work with, so I mean, even though there was no transmission for the TV whatsoever, I'd still watch like a DVD, so we did that, so we didn't all kill each other by being that bored, but, so this time, I've got my stack of contributions to this, because I was just so pissed off and aggravated last time. I was like, I don't even give a shit, just watch what we're gonna do. I'm busy, I'm trying to fucking make this work, but... And this time I'm like, alright, I'm a little more emotionally prepared now that I know what we're actually looking at, because I was told last time that the internet and the TV didn't go out. So I was expecting it to not go out. So then for it to do it, and for it to do it for so long, yeah, not a happy camper. But, if it hadn't come on when it had, like about an hour later, I was already planning on going to the library, because apparently they still had power. I don't know if they had internet, but they had power, so I was going to at least attempt going there and see if I could use their Wi-Fi, just to get on long enough to, like, catch up on things, and then go back home, but, I still haven't had a chance to go investigate that situation, but, the more fucked thing, my brother lives 5 minutes away from here. His power didn't go out. Yeah, they're being real dicks with where they're turning off and where they're not. Of course, will my brother let us go hang out at his house or anything while the power's up? Fuck no. And I asked him, if need be, like, could you, like, can I put things on a USB stick and you print out my shipping labels if I, like, save them ahead of time? He's like, oh, I don't have a printer. I find that very hard to believe, but at the same time, I guess I feel like I do remember him printing stuff here before. So maybe he legit doesn't, or maybe he's just being really cold. I don't know. But, either way, this whole situation sucks. And it is a really, really unnerving feeling when you have zero connection to the outside world, even for a 911 call. I don't like it. I would really like them to get their shit together so we don't have to keep doing this, because this is not right, and we shouldn't be having to do this. And I know I'm not alone in saying that. And they try and pass the buck and paint this all to sound like they're doing this for such noble reasons that they're preventing wildfires. They ain't preventing shit. They aren't preventing shit. This looks like every other firestorm season we have ever had, just with the additional suckage now of them turning the power off to a good majority of the Bay Area on top of it. And them still happening. Fire season has always been a thing in California. It will always be a thing in California. The only difference is they want no liability for when it does. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. Grant them it. Just let us have our fucking power. Because I get that all of this is definitely a fucking power play. No pun intended, but... You take things like this for granted, and I'm sure most of you watching this are probably thinking, you're totally overreacting, it's not that bad. Yeah, I'd like to see you live through these conditions. Because on paper, it does not sound that bad until you try and live it, and you realize just how much everyone in this day and age relies on having power. Reliable power. So that is a thing. And like I said, that's even with us having a generator that can run a few things. Imagine for all the people who don't have them, how much more that it sucks for those people. Just saying. Like, it is horrible. Most people in this area don't have them. So it's even worse, just widespread. Like, the gas stations are running out of gas because people are trying to, like, stock up as much as they can, both for the people that do have generators and just for people who are trying to make sure they don't run out of gas, because if the power goes off at the gas stations, can't pump gas. If they run out of gas, you're SOL until they get more. One of the local gas stations already did run out. And that is a scary-ass thought, because my dad has, like, 2 5-gallon gas tanks he has filled up, and that lasts us a day on the generator. So, and that's like $50 each time. So, for like a 3-day outage, that was $150 right there just in gas. Imagine if we'd been out a week. Now imagine if all of the local gas stations ran out of gas. It is a scarier and scarier thought all the time with all the variables here. And then, on top of that, not being able to so much as make an emergency phone call. And not being able to get updates on what is the situation, how much longer is this going to last, anything at all, is it being prolonged, is it being shortened? No way of getting any of that info. I mean, I would say get a friggin' digital antenna for the TV, but we have one somewhere, it's the worst part, but my dad doesn't know where it is. I'm like, see if you could at least find that? Yeah, it's one more thing to plug in, but you at least would potentially have something. But then again, with the transmission towers being down, maybe not. So maybe that wouldn't even help. I don't know. The whole thing is scary as shit, though, is all I know, and I don't like it, and I hope we don't have to keep going through this for very much longer, because this is bullcrap. And so many businesses, big and small, are getting fucked in this. Does PG&E care? Hell no. Our governor is pissed, or at least he claims to be. He may be just paying us lip service. I don't really know. I mean, it sounds like he's really mad and wants to force them to change, but at the same time, he's not doing anything to force them to change. Instead, he comes up with excuses. Well, I mean, we can't actually even start changing that until, like, at least June of next year. And I mean, to put all the wires underground, that could be, like, 10 years. It's like, you're telling us we're gonna have to put up with this shit for, like, another 10 years? I really need to figure out a way to afford moving out of the fucking state if this is gonna go on for 10 years, because I can't do this. I cannot deal with this for 10 effing years. Like, that is hell on earth. I can't. And I imagine a lot of people can't. And will be like, fuck California, we're out. What they really ought to do is break up PG&E into smaller companies. They're bankrupt, they can't provide the utility that they claim they're supposed to be able to provide. Then hire somebody who fucking can, take this responsibility out of their hands, sell it to a company who can provide it, and actually do their goddamn job. Yeah, I'm pissed. And I'm not the only one who is pissed over this. It's early in the morning. I'm trying to have coherent trains of thought, but it's hard, especially when I'm very emotional over the whole damn thing. Good lord, all of it is such shit. And the fact that they don't seem to really be doing anything for looking into alternatives is what pisses me off. It's like, this should not be a thing. Our president paid PG&E how much last year to fix this crap, so this would not be a thing? Why is this still a thing? Oh, that's right, because PG&E lined their own pockets with that money instead of actually putting it into moving all the lines underground. They didn't do shit with that money other than pay themselves huge benefits. And no, that is me not starting conspiracy theories. That is an actual effing thing. And that is why people are livid over this, and why PG&E should be fired from this job and hire a different utility company. Yeah, I know there was the whole scandal with Enron, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, get a different company. There's plenty of them that I'm sure would be happy to buy this out from under them and provide it the way it should be provided. And there is absolutely no reason on this planet that this should be a thing. None. Other states have these conditions. Other states have overhead lines. Other states have huge windstorms. Do we see planned shutoffs of power with them for that? Fuck no. And they're actually able to put out their fires when it happens. So not only is our power company failing, but also, you know what? Our firemen are kind of failing too because there's so many restrictions now on how they're allowed to fight the fires. It's like, you know what? No, fuck that. Let them fight it any way they need to actually get it under control. None of this, oh, well, I mean, if it's nighttime, we can't fight that in the dark. And I mean, first couple hours, we actually didn't show up for it. Yeah, fuck their bullshit excuses. Do your damn jobs. Yeah, I know, unpopular opinion time, but seriously though, I'm pissed. A lot of people are pissed right now. So, I don't know. Hopefully, this does not just become the new norm and just becomes a thing all the goddamn time. I hope it doesn't, but I mean, if it does, there's nothing I can do. We're all hosed because there is no alternate source of power in the area, and I mean, even if you have a generator, even if you have solar, even if you have anything like that, that doesn't provide you the cell service, it doesn't provide you your internet or TV or anything, because those are all still out. So you still have zero communication even if you have power. So it's just like, yeah, the whole, well, go solar, yeah, that's not a solution though. And here's the other problem with going solar. Because even if you have those battery power banks to save up, you don't get that. That gets sold back to PG&E. It goes back into the grid. You get paid for that. You don't get the option of keeping it for yourself for when there's power out, which is such bullshit. Such bullshit. So that pretty much just leaves the $40,000 full house generator systems, which, you know, if these become a frequent enough thing, I think my dad's almost pissed enough to buy one at this point, but oh my god. The whole thing is a mess. It is a huge fucking mess. I tell you what, though, when that power came back yesterday, first thing I did was run in that shower, because after that many days of not bathing, I felt so freaking gross, and it's just like, oh my god, hot water. I forgot what hot water felt like. Again, things you take for granted when you don't deal with long, lengthy power outages like this. I know, I'm rambling. I probably have more thoughts about this to spew, but right now I think I should probably wrap this up so I don't go on for like 2 hours or something, because I easily could. I have a lot of feelings about this. I'm very, very pissed off right now. But, I just figured I'd give you guys the heads up on this. Because, frankly, yeah, it's bullshit. And if I disappear for days at a time, that's what happened. Just so you know, I mean, you might want to look into the news. I'm sure plenty of you all over the country have heard about the PG&E outages here. And the wildfires and everything. Yeah, that's affecting us. Like, every single time one happens, we're in one of the areas affected. Because we're just lucky that way. But it's so stupid. The whole thing is so stupid and so unnecessary. I just want my life to go back to normal. That's all I effing want. That shouldn't be that much to ask. But apparently, in today's world, that's a lot to ask.